Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Freelancers Tea Break, the short and sweet podcast you can listen to whilst you're making a brew. Um, Earlier this week, I promised I would be sharing some spring cleaning tips for your freelance life this month. They are not things like Marie Kondo your life or anything like that because, I just don't have the attention span to do that. Um, but these are supposed to be small, easy things that you can slot into your week to make the rest of your, financial year even better. I'm living life on the edge here because I'm aware that in the next 10 minutes I've got a delivery turning up. So I'm hoping I can record this before that arrives. Otherwise, there'll be a ding dong and a pause of the podcast. Okay, let's get stuck in. So, this week I wanted to talk about finances, largely because it is the 5th of April and therefore it's kind of a new tax year. So, I'm actually recording this on the 5th of April. Hopefully, it will also be coming out on the 5th of April. And this is the time when, if you're super organised, you're already starting to do your self assessment tax return for 2022 to 2023. I'm not that organised. I'm more organised than I used to be. My accountant kind of keeps me to doing it in kind of early summer so that I have the whole of the rest of the year to think about that kind of January payday or payday for the HMRC, not for me. But yeah, I try and get ahead a little bit. But I know there are definitely people, and I know this came up in the group call this week in my membership, that will be doing it this week. So if that's you, fantastic. If that's not you, don't panic. I'm not suggesting you do it now, but you might want to think about when you will do your self assessment this year. When would it be the least stressful for you and allow you to make sure that you have the funds aside for it? So that isn't a decluttering thing, that's not a spring cleaning thing, that's just something for you to think about. Now, the first thing I would suggest that you might want to do is actually go through all your subscriptions and check if they're all still relevant. Are any of them tools that you're using and they could be merged? So, for example, a few years ago, I stopped using Calendly, and one of the other tools that I was using for sending out contracts and things like that, because I started using Dubsado and I forgot to cancel Calendly. So have a look at all the systems you're using and the subscriptions you're using. It also might be, for example, I've stopped subscribing for Tailwind. I still use Pinterest, but I tend to just do it on the free package, or I just do it manually now because it ended up being quite a lot of money and I wasn't necessarily seeing the return on that. So weigh up whether these things are actually saving you time or money or making you time or money. So that's the first one. And you can do that on your phone. You can sit on the sofa and you put the new Ted Lasso on and you can go through your PayPal or your bank and see which ones you're subscribed to. The next thing is a nice easy one. Create a new folder or a digital folder for 2023 to 2024. So I have a Gmail subfolder for all of the accounts that so any kind of receipts I get or anything like that, automatically I put them in there. And I have just a little tin actually for any of my receipts and things like that. So you might want to make sure you're updating that. If you prefer to print things out, you might want to get yourself a new folder for the new tax year. So that's quite a nice, easy one. And then the third thing is review your bank service and or invoicing service. I was with one of the big kind of traditional banks for many, many, many years. The kind where you have to use the little calculator every time you're trying to make a transfer, and it was always a nightmare, and the customer service was rubbish. Everything felt slow and clunky, and it really stressed me out, and it made everything a lot harder. And then I moved to one of the new digital ones, so like Monzo, Starling, Metal, I think is another one. There's lots like that and they're just so much better. First of all, because you can have a pot in there which will automatically take out 25 to 30% of your income and put it in there for your tax return. makes it so much easier for your self-assessment, payment. And you can create other pots. So you might want to create pots for your subscriptions, or pots for if you're getting coaching and things like that. You might want to have that money put aside. It makes it so much easier. So if you have been thinking about moving, and a lot of these new banks also have special offers if you move over, now might be a good time to have a look at that. And that it's not as difficult as it used to be either. They will do a lot of the moving over for you. So you might want to have a look at your bank. And you might also want to see, is it time to be using a new invoice software, or switch to a different one, or even upgrade how you're using it. So I did a session with Liz Fisher this year about Free Agent. I've been using Free Agent for over a decade, probably on and off, and I still felt like I was only touching the surface of it. So I had a session with Liz to make sure that I was really making the most of it. I had asked her all the kind of silly, embarrassing questions I had always wondered about, like, do I need to use those reports? Am I putting that in the right category? And she just helped me so much with all of that kind of thing. So I really highly recommend looking at your invoice software, making sure it's the right one for you, and then working out if you're using it to the best of its ability, or your ability. So just to summarise, none of them are big, scary tasks, and they're all ones you could do on the sofa from your phone or laptop. So go through your subscriptions and cancel any that you don't think are relevant anymore, or merge them, that kind of thing. Create a new folder or subfolder for the new tax year, and review your bank service and your invoicing software. And bonus points if you then start doing your accounts as well. One thing I'm going to be doing today is going back through Free Agent and making sure I've got everything, because with the app you can match up all of the incomings and outgoings and bills and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to be doing that so that I can start off the new tax year in the best possible way. So I'd love to know what you end up doing, and if there's anything else you do for the financial tax year, let me know. I'm going to pop a thread in the Facebook group once I've put this episode out, and this will also be going out in the newsletter on Friday. So if you're thinking, I can't do it today, but I've got some time on Friday, keep an eye out for that newsletter, and you can hit reply if you need some accountability, and tell me what you're going to be doing. And if you're not on the newsletter, it's freelancelifestyle.co.uk/newsletter is the easiest way of jumping on that. And with that, you get access to my PDF with all the different ways that you can find clients, the whole mix and match selection. And that is ever growing. I need to update it actually with some more bits, especially now I've got AI involved. So that will be coming soon as well. Have a lovely week. I'd love to know how you get on, and do come over and join us in the Facebook group, The Freelance Lifestylers, if you want to chat more.